Esha, parent, coach and counsellor, and this is my reaction to Horrid Henry.
Normal Sunday dinner.
This is a normal Sunday dinner.
What's normal?
I'm being normal. Wow!
Poor Henry.
What if I were horrid? Yes! Tomorrow I'm going to be like Henry. I'm going to be...
Roles reversed.
And this is even worse!
Oh.
Peter? What's this? I
That's not
know.
like pizza.
Oh, clever you to remember it's wash day.
Oh my gosh.
It was Peter's fault. He sprayed me.
Don't tell lies, Henry.
It's true. I sprayed him.
Well, Henry, you should have got out of the way when Peter was watering the flowers.
What's the big idea? You're not the only one that can be horrid.
That was funny.
So what were your first thoughts?
My first thought is that Peter doesn't even recognise that he's the one that always gets all the attention because he's perfect Peter. Yeah. So he doesn't see that.
And what were some of the things that stood out to you and why?
Some of the things that stood out to me is that Peter thought that he had to behave like Henry in order to get attention, but he already has all the attention. You know, Henry's the sort of person that because he doesn't get the attention, he tries so hard to be good and can't seem to make it. Henry's behaviour is a typical behaviour of a child who is the one that's missed, yeah, and he behaves badly because he wants to get the attention. Negative attention is better than no attention, but Peter sees this as a really bad thing. He sees this as him missing out, rather than seeing that, you know, actually they see me as perfect Peter. I'm the one that always gets all the compliments and everything else. Henry doesn't actually get any compliment. He's always Horrid Henry. You know, parents are always saying to him, "Don't be Horrid Henry." But Peter's perfect. So Henry actually lives up to his name. In this episode, I think Peter's quite jealous of that. So he's decided he's going to reverse the roles. But because he's used to being so good, it's really difficult for him to reverse the roles. So even something as dropping his bed sheets on the floor, Mom doesn't see that as naughty behaviour. Mom sees it as something that it's wash day. She makes an excuse for him.
So do you think if Henry had thrown his bed sheets on the floor, he would have gone into trouble?
Yes, he would have seen, Henry, you being naughty. Why is your bed sheets on the floor? Why are you so horrid? But every excuse is always made for Peter.
Why do you think she does that?
I think Mom is very unaccepting of Henry. She doesn't accept his behaviour. She doesn't accept that they're both two children. They're both individuals. Yeah, she wants them both to be perfect, but that's not Henry at all. She has two children, and no two child is ever the same. Yeah, and we can't. We have children. We love our children, but we have to remember to treat them as individuals, and they haven't learned that.
What do you think about her and Dad's parenting style? Because if you notice, their tone when they talk to Peter is completely different.
It is completely. Mom's tone to Henry is very frustrated. Yeah, because he's not behaving according to the norm. She was talking about being normal, and I asked myself, what is normal? What is a normal family? Because when it comes to families, every family is different, and your norm might not be my norm for my family. You know, so she was talking about being normal, and Peter was saying that he was normal. Does that mean that Henry's abnormal? I would question that.
What do you think about Henry?
I quite like Henry. And I think he's just a nice, fun person. I don't agree with everything he does, but I quite like him. He's typical of any little boy growing up who is experimental.
What do you think of Peter?
I also like Peter, I like his character as well, different contrast between the two of them, but I actually accept their individualities. I really accept that of them, you know. So Peter's Peter and Henry's Henry, you know, and the fault is parents, you know. They've turned Henry into the horrid person he is by not accepting him, and even Dad was finding excuses for Peter. Peter was the one that took the hose and he soaked Henry. Peter can't do anything wrong, you know, so even when Peter admitted that it was me, you know, they found an excuse. Henry, you should have moved out the way. It's not fair, really. When Henry says it's not fair, it really isn't fair.
So how do you feel about this overall as a children's show? Do you think there's things that we can take away, learn? Do you think it influences children to be bad?
I don't think we can always blame everything they watch on TV. I think if they're going to be naughty, they're going to be naughty anyway. And it's sort of where you draw the boundaries. You know, Henry's the sort of person that he oversteps the boundaries. But he oversteps the boundaries because it gives him attention. You always see how far can I push my parents, how far can I push the teacher, how can I get away with this. That's how Henry is. And lots of children do that. And how you pull that back in by not reacting to it. You see, Henry has very reactive parents. They're not responsive, they're reactive. You know, rather than say, you know, okay, Henry's done that, let me see how best to deal with it. It's all instant. They don't think, you know, they just bawl at him, and they're always bawling at him. You know, there's never a calm tone with him. It's always very explosive. You know, Henry gets explosive and they also get explosive. You know, so he doesn't know any other way. All he can see is that his brother's been dealt with in a very gentle, calm way, whereas he's always been shouted at. So what he does, you know, if this is what they think of me, you know, I'll show them. Let me just play up to this. I'll be the person who they say I am.
Do you think Henry feels loved?
Does he feel love? Possibly not. Possibly. I think he feels left out. I think he feels as though he can't do anything right, so he might as well do something wrong, because at least it gets him the attention. Peter's a little more considerate. You know, he doesn't want to get into trouble. He doesn't like getting into trouble. He's more considerate, whereas Henry gets into trouble over and over and over again. Still, it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy. He just gets in trouble and he's become immune to it. He's become immune to them shouting at him. He's become immune to everything.
How did you hear about Horrid Henry, and would you watch it again?
Yeah, I watch Horrid Henry all the time because I like it. It's a very good therapeutic tool for counsellors, I think, to watch that and see the dynamics of family and how children are treated differently in families. You know, so it gives you a great insight to what not to do as a parent. I really like it.